Doing? Grugs here, Legion Tactical Cutlery. Welcome back, troops, Legionnaires, new recruits, and as always, appreciate you guys checking out my channel and my videos. Okay, I got something really cool and new today that hopefully I will be testing out this weekend. So it's been a kind of cold, rainy. We've had a nor'easter. It's just too cold for me to go out there, but I'm hoping that tomorrow it's going to be a little bit warmer, at least dry. I don't care if it's cloudy. And got a few knives I'll be doing some testing with. Let me know what you all have in your pocket. Today I am carrying my Shanzhou Peafowl. Okay, I've been carrying this for a few days. Very effective folder, really nice knife. And I plan to do a review on it real soon. Okay, now in front of you today we're looking at this Oerla OLK-033RD. Kind of wish they had a better name than that long number name. But anyway, it's an awesome looking knife. And, I'm really excited to not only test it out, but to show you guys first before I go out into the field with it and give it a good test. Let's just go over some quick specs, okay, of this knife. I'm reading off the computer right now. Overall length is 9 inches. Blade thickness is 4.8 millimeters, so pretty nice. Hey, how you doing, Garen? How's it going, man? Blade length is 4.56 inch, and the handle length is 4.48 inch with it's 8.6 ounces. Okay, we're looking at 420 high carbon, full tang blade. All right. And the handles are made out of G10 in black and done very nicely in my opinion. All right, let me see what else we've got here that I could tell you about this knife. Oh, it does come with a Kydex sheath and, that universal belt clip or tech lock. All right, that's pretty much it. Other than they're saying here that the angle that they created this secondary bevel is 17 degree, which is pretty nice. It's a nice high bevel, nice high secondary edge bevel, which some people usually use their work sharp to sharpen to like this kind of an angle. So it comes extremely, extremely sharp. Before I do a paper test, let me show you how awesome this knife is. It's a nice little knife. Okay, it kind of reminds me of a smaller version of another company out there that are producing something similar to this. I'm not going to mention their names, but this is a nice little clip point knife. Let me just show you in the hand. It's not that big, so this is perfect for hunting, hiking, maybe doing some camping if you don't want a big, huge knife or a mid-sized knife. It's kind of small. I know some people may consider this a mid-size, and I'm thinking it's kind of small. For my hands, the handle fits real well. Let me see if I could show you. The handle fits real well for my hand. I don't know about some others, but as you can see, it fits real well. I love this little bird's beak area. It just, I don't know, in my hand, it just fits real nice. Now, if I do turn it over, okay, I might feel just a little tiny hot spot, but because everything is so nicely rounded off over here, it's not that big of a deal. So if you have to go, into the meat this certain way, it's okay. This really doesn't bother you. Let me just flip this around. If you flip it around, it feels just as good. Okay, so if you're cutting the animal muscle in different ways, this knife is easy to hold, so you could use it. Okay. Let's take a look at that handle. Well, first of all, before I take a look at the handle, let's take a look at that blade. Look how nice that blade is. Beautiful blade. Okay, the grind lines are done really nice. Everything seems to be pretty even, as you can see right there. Look at that. Okay. So very nicely done. It's got a generous sharpening choil, not circular, but kind of like a squarish sharpening choil. Doesn't matter to me though, because I can nicely fit my finger right there if I plan on doing some close-up work. All right, but look at that blade, really nice. I don't know, man, I think that secondary bevel is kind of convex in my opinion. Take a close look at that light in the angle over there. It looks kind of convex, and I kind of like that the secondary bevel has a high profile. It is a great looking blade, right? How much did it cost? It's about 37 bucks. Okay, if you go onto the Oerla website, and they have their own website, it's another good website with plenty of information, plenty of pictures. They got some funky designs, that's up to the person's preference. But this one looks extremely functional and a very traditional look. But let me continue on with the look of this blade. So you could see that secondary bevel, flat ground, saber ground, mid saber ground, not hollow, which I have nothing against hollow, but I always prefer, the saber or the flat grind. There's a nice swedge here. Again, it is a flat grind type of swedge. Some very nice jimping, aggressive, but it's not going to hurt your finger and you won't slip. All right, here's the other side of it. That is just looking real nice. I mean, look how it came from the factory, nice and shiny, that edge. So I'm really looking forward to showing you this paper cut, because I was cutting paper like this with, like no tomorrow. How the edge is going to hold up, we'll find out when I get out into the field. But as of right now, you're going to know that when you get something from this company, it's going to be extremely sharp. Has a nice guard and the full tang goodness, okay? All the way around. Now, the guard does protrude just a bit above the G10 handles and below the G10 handles. However, it's done consistently throughout the whole knife, and it feels real great. It's got 2 holes here for a lanyard option, whether you want the lower hole or the top hole over here, lower and top. Removable screws. Hopefully, after I do some testing with this, that the screws will come loose. But what I'll do is, before I do the testing, I will tighten it up a little bit. As you can see, though, it's got some nice contouring, and it's got some, some grinds over here, so you could comfortably fit your hands and your fingers. So what I like about this is, I guess if you're going to do some hunting, you've got some options to hold the knife, See that? So you've got plenty of options on here on how to hold the knife when you're cutting the meat. Now, I don't know what you're going to do, but there is these options here, so it does feel really good. Handle is real nice. I mean, look at that, with a G10 on there. Look at the texturing. Gorgeous. Just gorgeous. So the fit and finish is fantastic. Now, yeah, it's really good, right? Watch City Knives. I like it. I like this particular model of the Oerla. Hopefully I'll have a good relationship with these guys. They might send me some more, but I like the traditional stuff. Now, check out what you're going to get out of the box. Look at that. Effortless, man. Okay? That's great, right? I mean, how can you go wrong? That's out of the box. I've done nothing, no stropping, no nothing, because it was so sharp. Real pleased with that. So just wanted to show you all that you will be getting some very, very sharp knives from this company. Not only sharp knives, the fit and finish is fantastic. You also do get a Kydex sheath. This is a taco style Kydex sheath. All right. It's got some rivets in case you want to put some third-party attachments on here, for example, like a ferro rod or what have you. This does come with this tech lock attachment, all right, where you open this up over here, squeeze these two, okay, and then you have the option to move these tabs for your belt size or remove them completely. You could do scout carry or vertical carry with this, all right. Not one of my favorite tech locks. I wish they had, if they were going to use the tech locks, I kind of wish they had the other one with the button on the bottom. However, you could still remove this and then purchase something third party. Me personally, I like the Kydex with the nylon loop dangler type of deal. However, this Kydex sheath is nice. It's not flimsy, okay? It is sturdy. Let me pop the knife in. So I'm looking at their website. I want you guys to go look at their website too. This knife right now is on sale on their website for $33.25. All right. The steel is 420 high carbon. Okay, I don't care anymore about, steels as long as they, they work out in the field and you use them normally, combine it with an axe and a saw, and man, oh man, you know, you've got a very powerful combination, all right? However, I still need to test it out. Now look at that thickness over here, okay? It's robust, okay? I'm definitely going to do a tip test by making a divot, something real world. That's what I like to do. So I think this tip will be able to hold up. Today, for dinner, plan on making bourbon chicken. So my wife is getting some breasts and some thighs from the supermarket, some chicken breasts, some chicken thighs, and I will be using this knife to test it out right off the bat. I'll take some pictures and put it up later. I like this knife. I like it a lot. It's a nice small size. I've been really getting into the, 5-inch, 4-inch, 5-inch knives. I think they're fantastic. I think they're some of the best that are available when you're out in the field. Nothing too big, nothing too small. It's just right in the middle. And again, I've been using my axe and my saw a lot more lately, and been working out real well, man. And I'm just real happy to show this to you guys. Did I pop this in? I don't remember if I popped this in, but anyway, I think I did. There's your package right there, looking good. Now, let me just take this out for the collector out there. I know there's some collectors out there. It does come with a nice box. Okay, here's the Oerla box. All right. So let me just open this up for you all. 1 second. I'll just show you what it comes inside. I mean, for me, it's no big deal. Once I use this, the box is going. I don't plan on selling this knife. But it does have, a little welcome, thank you for your purchase type of deal, right? And it gives you a little demonstration of how to an instruction of how to use your tech lock, all right? How to take out the knife, pop in the knife, and some care, and maybe the story of Oerla's. Inside, you have a nice little foam section where you put the knife in. Here, let me pop it in there for you all. For the collector, pops in there, you're good to go. You pop this on, you put this on, okay, the little foam, and you got a nice box, okay, for the collector. You could put it away and then take it out and look at it. I know that there's people out there who enjoy that, and I do that with some of my knives. I am guilty of that also. Let's pop this out once again. Beautiful knife, man. I mean, how can you go wrong? I know some of you aren't going to like 420 high carbon. You know what I mean? I know that this is going to work. I've used 420 before outdoors, and it works just fine. Always got to do some testing. But for the price of this knife, man, how can you go wrong? You lose it out in the field, you break it. I don't know if this is going to break, but I'm just giving you an example. At least $33, you won't be crying big time. You can have those nice expensive knives, and enjoy them. But you take this out into the field and you use this knife. You know what I mean? And I'm really excited. Fingers crossed this weekend I will be testing out 3 knives, man. I'm going to be testing out 3 knives. I don't know if I'm going to do it all in one day or spread it out between Friday and Saturday, but we'll see. I'm going to try my best to get three knives done. 2 brands, okay? So one is Oerla and the other, I won't name because I'm dedicating this to Oerla right now. So, all right, troops, look, unless you have any other questions, I think this is a great little knife, man, and I just can't wait to test it out and show everybody. Again, I will be testing this out on some meat today, cleaning up some chicken fat and stuff like that from the thighs, because the thighs of a chicken always has a lot of fat. But we're making some bourbon chicken. I'm going to use this to test it out and see how it works out on meat, on muscle. If there's no other questions, I don't want to waste anybody's time. I think I've gotten down to the meat of the knife over here. I mean, that is just a good-looking knife. You're welcome, Watch City Knives. I appreciate you commenting and checking this out, man. Really do. Again, if there's no other questions, check out their website. Just Google Oerla website. Check out their website. Plenty of information on there. Plenty of different models. Hey, John, how you doing? They've got some weird looking models. Maybe that's your thing. I don't know. My point is that if you go to their website, it's kind of like Takumi Tack's website. Plenty of information, plenty of pictures, options to purchase, real organized and good looking website. So definitely go check them out. I've got no skin in this game. This is not one of the companies I'm doing, I'm getting money for. Hopefully they'll do an affiliation with me when the time comes. Hopefully, they're going to send me more knives too for testing, but this is the first one that they sent. And, I let them know, listen, I test out my knives out in the field for real world situations. He was like, great. The representative was like, great, go for it. And this is the first knife that they sent me. I didn't ask them for this knife. And I think it's perfect, man. I think it's perfect. I am actually really excited about this one, man. Really excited, and I can't wait. All right, troops, Legionnaires, new recruits, as always, I really appreciate you guys checking out my channel. Thank you so much. I want to bring awareness to everybody. Hashtag 22 a day, hashtag 22 a day no more. There are veterans and active military out there that once they get out of the service, they do face a lot of challenges. In the comments section and description section, there'll be phone numbers and websites that you guys can go check out. Please seek the help you all have earned and deserved. All right, troops, Legionnaires, new recruits, I hope you have a great rest of your day. And man, I hope things warm up out there because boy, oh boy, for the past couple of days, it's been raining, miserable, and cold. All right, thanks, guys. At the ready, hold the line. Take care.